I'm super pumped to announce Ryan Leslie on stage.
Thanks. Can you hear me? Is my microphone working? Can you guys hear me loud and clear? I feel like Justin Timberlake up here. So I got the, or Bieber, or either one. So you guys are catching me right now in the midst of a 30-city European run. And I actually happen to be really good friends, almost family, with Peter Sign back there, who came to visit me in New York City and invited me to come and share some insights with young entrepreneurs. So where shall we start? I mean, I've gotten a really great introduction, and I think probably one of the most interesting pieces of the story that may have been left out is once I graduated from Harvard, everyone in my family expected that there was going to be something incredible that was going to happen. And in my freshman year at school, I fell in love with music. Now, it's a little bit different because growing up, my parents, they've always been musicians. So from the very beginning, my mother, a classically trained pianist, my father, a trumpet player. And I came along kind of unexpectedly in their life pathways, and they rearranged their lives to raise me and my sister. And in my freshman year of school, I was listening to these records, and someone introduced me to the music of Stevie Wonder. Now, you might say, well, I mean, you were, already 14, 15 years old, and you'd never heard of Stevie Wonder before. And that's because my parents are pretty religious. And so I started to do some research. Now, this was like in 1994. So this was I could just Google Stevie Wonder. I had to go to Harvard's Widener Library. I checked out a book on Stevie Wonder, and I realized that he had released his first album at the age of 11 or 12. It was called Fingertips. And I called my father, and I said, Dad, I'm behind. He said, well, Ryan, you're 15 years old at Harvard. How are you behind? I said, well, I said, well, I've decided I want to do music, and my new musical hero, Stevie Wonder, and he released his first album when he was 11 or 12, and I'm like 4 or 5 years behind him, so I'm changing my major. I was pre-med, and I'm changing my major because I want to take as few classes as possible so I could focus all my time on music. So I actually took a few classes at the Kennedy School of Government because they only required that I go to class like once a semester, and the whole class was based on a great final paper. So if I wrote a great final paper and it was 70% of the grade, I could still get a C in the class and I could pass. And I was on academic probation 3 times when I was at Harvard. But I still managed to graduate on time. And my parents, even now, as much as I've achieved and different awards and nominations and everything, my goal is still to become more famous than Harvard. Why? Because when my dad tells people about his son, he says, well, hey, have you heard of my son? His name is Ryan Leslie. And people say, no, I never heard of him. Oh, he went to Harvard. Oh, I heard of that. So my goal is eventually one day to get more famous than Harvard. So then my dad, actually, when he introduces me to people, he actually could just say my name. And, the shining moment of his, job as a parent was the fact that I went to Harvard, right? Now, coming out of Harvard, what wasn't conveyed a little earlier in the story was that I came out of Harvard and literally I had an idea for a business, right? Now, it wasn't for a huge business. It was just for what I call a lifestyle business. And a lifestyle business is a business that makes you enough money so that you can have the lifestyle that you want, right? And so my lifestyle is very simple, right? My lifestyle is very, very simple. All I wanted to do was hang out in the studio and tap away. Let me see, is this thing working? Does this work? Is this on? Yeah, so this is all I wanted to do. I just wanted to sit down at keys and just like come up with I just wanted to do this all day long. Now, it's not very expensive to be able to do that. All you need is like a room and one of these, and you're straight, right? So I came up with this plan. I had a business plan. And so I think with every entrepreneurial idea or venture, you come up with this business plan. You say, okay, this is how I'm going to make money. This is how much money I need to run well, for me, it was my life, right? But this is how much money I need to run my business. And if I could do this, then I'll be straight. I'll be able to get some groceries and live and do exactly what I want to do all day long. Now, luckily for me, I had already understood that what I wanted to do was just play music all day long. That's all I ever wanted to do, right? Now, there are many reasons why I wanted to do this. First of all, just because I grew up in a musical family. But second of all, because when I was in college, right,